أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
I always believed in God. I grew up as a Lutheran in the Lutheran Church in Germany, and I was quite active in the church, or always quite curious about what I read, and I read the Bible, and during confirmation I was quite eager to find a text that relates to me, and so I took that part quite serious and always believed that there is a God, and the God that we prayed to and that we believed in was for me quite an important part in life, mostly around Christmas and Easter, of course, like in Western culture. But it was mainly my bringing up, Christian family, through going through Germany in the school, getting a bit closer to religion itself in South Africa when I moved there. Became quite active there as well, and I took it quite serious. But after school, after university, it all went a bit slow, and I didn't go to church every weekend anymore. But there was always the belief, and always the knowledge that God is real. Early on, I was interested to always learn about other things other than the mainstream. For us, mainstream was Christianity, and I was always interested to find out more about other religions in general. And that was the first time that I actually learned about what Islam is. But in hindsight, I have to say that I actually learned very, very little based on the access to media that I had in those days. In the early stages, I don't think there was anything in particular that attracted me. What I did realize is that the people are very nice. The brothers and sisters that I met in those days, they were inviting for eat. I got invited to lunch, to people that I met, acquaintances that I had. But other than that, I never had any clear interest in pursuing Islam by itself. I found it very interesting. I challenged a lot of things, and I found what impressed me, that I could always challenge certain statements or certain opinions, or ask more knowledge from brothers that I met in those days, sheikhs, and that I spoke to. They were always very open to communicate and to talk to me, and never gave me the feeling that I'm asking questions that may be stupid or inappropriate. And that impressed me, that I was able to always ask questions along the way that interested me or that I challenged. And they're very open in communicating with me about those. This was more, in Christianity I felt that I understand the Lutheran part of it, so I was not curious to learn more, because the relationship to the Bible is not as significant as it is in Islam to the Quran. So for me, the religion itself became something much more serious and something that gave me answers, and I found it very interesting. The more I learned, the more interesting I found it. To be honest, there was not one moment where I simply came to a conclusion that I'm gonna do the Shahada. It was something I was contemplating with for a long time, and I couldn't make the decision. And at one day during Friday prayers, I joined at work Friday prayers with the Brotherhood, and one Friday the Imam came to me and he asked me, why don't you do the Shahada today with another brother? And at that moment, spontaneously, I couldn't find a reason why not. And I did the Shahada, and from then on I learned more. I decided for myself that I want to learn more about Islam from the inside rather than always questioning and challenging things. And that's when the journey really started, and I attended classes, and there was a lot of classes that were offered in English, and that was a great opportunity to learn a lot more, step by step. Life-changing after I embraced Islam is the obvious things that one would always say, that, I mean, the perception is that Islam is full of rules and clear, it's very hard. I found the journey actually to be not easy, but very accommodating. By learning more, the more I learn, the more I have to do, the more I want to do, and fulfilling the 5 daily prayers I took serious from the beginning, and it was my aspiration to actually manage those from quite early on. Then the first Ramadan fasting, I was quite convinced that I would not be able to manage to do it. But first Ramadan came, and my scholars told me that I don't have to do it full. I have to try as much as I can, but it's not mandatory. And I managed actually to go through the Ramadan full myself. And I realized that thanks to the dedication and what I've learned by that time, it helped me to go through that. Amazing people, very, very welcoming, warm, multicultural, Jeddah especially. It's a city that is like no other city, and people are warm in general and much more friendly than anybody could imagine. And I think anybody that comes and visits Saudi Arabia, or Jeddah in particular as well, will find the same. And everybody that visited me so far has shared the same feeling. I made the decision after I arrived, just before Ramadan here. I went during Ramadan for the first time for Umrah, and I saw the Kaaba there. Might not have been the smartest choice to go for Umrah during Ramadan. It was overwhelming, the amount of people. Seeing the Kaaba itself was nothing like I imagined it before. It's very, very special, I would say. Medina, I didn't go in the first weeks when I was here. I should have, because it's just it's a city that has got a peacefulness about it and calmness that one always wants to go back to. I love it. Jeddah is a nice city. The proximity to both Mecca and Medina is a privilege to have, and the people of Jeddah, with the welcoming way they are and the way that everything is, it's a place I'm lucky and privileged to call home for now. I think be open, leave an open heart and seek knowledge, and I think that's the most important. That's one thing that we should all do, seek knowledge, and for ourselves and for the hereafter. The religion and Islam more, and in those days I started reading the Quran for the first time, just to know more about it. And also the mainstream media that you hear in the West sometimes is telling you one side of the story, and I just was curious to find out more about for myself what is behind the curtain, so to say. And I read the Quran twice, and I was looking into it and quite curious to learn more about it over a period of 7 years. An opportunity opened up. I embraced the opportunity and I took the step without ever having been in the country before. And like I've learned years before after embracing Islam, that I'm grateful for everything that I have and that I've received, and opportunities that I've gotten. And Saudi Arabia was something that came up. It felt like the unknown, the uncomfortable, but I embraced that opportunity, and I'm very excited and happy to have taken that step.